Hey everyone, January 22nd, we've got a beautiful, what seems like early spring day. I will tell you there's a few things we can show you around the yard where it says spring is here, but we are remaining a little bit cautious. February oftentimes proves to be a time when some really cold freezes come back through. But one of the things I want to show you guys today is how to care for lemongrass. Lemongrass is an absolutely terrific plant to grow here in the Central Texas area. Michael and I have a couple in pots, one here, one over there. Then we've got a couple in the ground. And in general, they come back every year. We had a couple of times where maybe we hadn't gotten smaller plants really well established, but once they're really well established, they come back very easily. But I'm also going to do a project with this. Lemongrass can actually prove to be a really good bug repellent. And one of the things that I like to do, particularly when it's died off in the winter, is kind of trim it up. Keep the leaves though, because then I can make fire bundles, which when mosquitoes and other annoying bugs like that are present in the yard, you can put those in your fire pit or a small little chimenea, and then of course it smokes, and not only do you get the flavorful lemongrass smoke, but then you also help and keep the bugs away. So we're going to be trimming this up and showing you what we're going to do.
Smells, I can already smell it.
Yep, the oils are still here. Okay, so I've got the top layer trimmed off, letting the piles kind of fall to the ground. But I do want to show you guys kind of an extra step that I recommend when it comes to preserving your lemongrass and getting ready to grow. So lemongrass grows from the root up. It's not one of those plants that, like, if you leave, say, leaves or branches on it, that it's going to grow back up through. It grows from the base up.
So hey guys, this is one that we have in the ground. Just want to show you how it looks. Now we're going to leave it just like this. We'll probably cover it up with mulch just to protect it until our last freeze. Typically it's March the 15th, so probably around March. I'll get in here and I'll take some really good shears and I'll just really get it down, cut them down to the bottom just to clean it up, and the new growth should come up when it starts to warm up and we get rain, if we ever get rain.
Okay, so I have it basically kind of trimmed down where I want. I do like to leave a little extra, especially since it's not quite February just yet, just to make sure again that we're keeping the base of the root warm and so on like that. But one of the other things that I like to do, obviously I'm shedding a little that I can kind of pull out by hand, but then I also like to take like my small snips and just come in and pull some little heavy reed sections out. Part of the reason I like to do that, as I said, this grows from the root up. It doesn't grow back up through the actual leaf itself. And so again, I want to give room for it to start growing. But again, I always like to kind of leave a little bit of covering here, just in case we kind of get one of those unexpected freezes or frosts that kind of come through. So that's how it's starting to look.
Hey guys, in our last video I forgot to show you our new deck. We got it sanded and stripped clean. It was so hot last summer that that dark stain here in the bottom literally boiled. So now we're just going to do a clear stain. What is that dog doing?
She's spring bathing.
She's ugly. I think over the years we've adopted. What are you doing? Oh, you're getting into it.
Actually, I think she does that so that she can get brushed, is what I think.
All right, that was funny.
Yeah. All right, so I've got a nice hand-sized bundle of the lemongrass here. One of the things I did forget to mention about the lemongrass, when you trim it, no matter if it's in its prime growing season when it's green and so on like that, it can be harvested. Lemongrass is really great in like teas and Asian foods and so on like that. But one of the things about lemongrass, again, no matter when you're trimming it, when it's kind of in its off season and it's kind of died off, or if it's fresh, try and wear something with sleeves, because the blades can cut. So that was something I thought maybe might be helpful. Of course, I'm also wearing gloves. So I'd like to grab a nice bundle here, and what I'm going to do with this is just kind of play with it. bend it to where kind of like the ends are kind of coming together. And again, you can do this in any way. I might even kind of trim some of the strays. It's not like these are meant to like look really pretty, right? And then one of the other things I like to kind of keep around is just some twine. Now what's really great, again, when you get like a nice sized blade of the lemongrass here, you can actually begin to tie that with the lemongrass. But just for the sake of kind of making sure that I've got it bundled really well, I'm going to use some twine.
These are really nice, guys, especially in the summer when we're out swimming. We've got that chimenea right here, and then we've got the other one over there, and we'll put the pinon pine wood in there and have it just kind of smolder. But man, I'll tell you what, when the flies and the mosquitoes are out, you put one of Miss Rochelle's bundles in there, it starts just fragrancing and smoking, and it really eliminates the bugs.
Yeah, now, and also keep in mind, though, if you choose to put it in a fire pit, kind of a larger fire compared to just like a really small smoking one, these are going to create a lot of ash. So you do have to be, you know, cautious in the idea that, you know, some of it, when it starts to burn, it can create some flying ash and things like that. But again, using it in chimenea where it's a little more contained can sometimes be a little bit safer anyway. So again, just kind of tie it up.
Super easy to do.
I just kind of like to trim mine up just to look a little neater. Again, it's burning, so it's not like it's supposed to be the prettiest thing in the world. All right, and bundle number one. Again, I've got a good harvest here of good size lemongrass, so we'll be kind of making some more so that we're well prepared, particularly for the summer.
Hey guys, another good little tip for a natural bug repellent in your chimenea when you're smoking is bay leaves. Now, after that polar freeze, we had a lot of branches that really dried. They still have the oils of the bay leaf. It smells amazing. You could put this, and we've done it before, in your chimenea in the summer when the mosquitoes are out and the flies, and it will deter them, and it smells really good.
All right, we got some lemongrass love here. So we got about, for what we cut for the 4 plants that we had, and again, keep in mind, some we still kind of kept scrapped on the ground because we wanted to make sure that the root bases of the lemongrass was insulated. So again, some of the cuttings that shed when I cut the lemongrass, we kept on the ground with them. But we got about 20 bundles, and Michael and I have experimented. We've done some that are really much more compact. And of course, with his military knowledge, we're expecting that maybe these will burn a little more intensely and maybe not create as much ash. So we're going to experiment with that a little bit.
I think more smoke.
More smoke, okay.
Yeah, and that's what we're going for, is to smoke.
Yeah, so we're going to try one in the chimenea and let you guys kind of see what it looks like.
Get to play with fire. All right, I'm going to go ahead and light this chimenea. We're not going to make too big of a fire. And then we're going to kind of let it die down a little bit, and then we'll throw in our little bundles. So last year, guys, we were out and about. I think it was one of our grocery stores.
A couple of years ago, yeah.
Yeah, like Randall's or something. We found this 4, I guess, window chimenea for $100. This is kind of our little sitting area outside of the pool, you know, in the shade. So it's really nice to have a little bit of a bug deterrent. And it's just a beautiful chimenea.
Okay, so we were over here looking at the chimenea and getting ready for that, and I kept hearing a ton of tweeting. Now it stopped since we're a little bit closer. Here it goes.
That's a hummingbird nest, but maybe we have other little sparrows or something in there.
I think so, and I see some feathers on the outside of it, so I have a feeling we've got some birdies in there. Yay!
Lots of birdhouses. All right, guys, we're down to coals, which is what we want. We'll just put that bundle on there. We'll see if it starts to smoke. There we go. I see smoke. I can smell.
And actually, this one's burning a little more nicely. This was one that we made a little more dense, a little tighter.
There it goes.
And it's producing a lot less ash, which is great. So I'm glad we experimented with that.
Get a nice smoke. It's really good for deterring the bugs, especially in the summer around this tree area. And it'll continue to smoke probably for another 15 minutes. Right.
Okay, so we wanted to show you another sign of the early spring that we're getting. This is our pear tree. Pear blossoms are here. Beautiful. So I mean, this I think is probably the most pear flowers that I've blossomed.
Yeah.
Thank you. That I've seen in a while. So we're hopefully going to get a good crop of that.
These are really, I mean, they're good pears. In most cases, you have to cook them.
Yeah.
Because they're just...
For us, yeah, we cook them because they come out a little mottled, so it's not one of those that like I'd want to just eat fresh.
That or we'll juice them and I'll make homemade mead or wine.
Who knows? Yeah. Okay, so this is Greg's mist flower. This is another wonderful, wonderful flower. Attracts a lot of butterflies and hummingbirds. When it blossoms, it gives this beautiful, like poofy, purple little flower, but it's already coming up. And again, it's one of those that it kind of dies off in the winter and then re-roots from the ground. But we've already got like a good, and it spreads. It's a spreader, so also be careful if you choose it. But we've also got a good crop of that.
Well, it's late January. We could still get another freeze here in February or
which is why
March.
we're keeping the leaves and things like that on everything just in case.
Well, I'll just throw them over there on the shelf.
On the shelf?
Let them on the let them get if they get.
Okay, it's all about fire today. So now I'm going to show you guys how I make some recycled homemade fire starters with simple things you truly do or usually should have around the house. Toilet paper tubes, dryer lint, used up dryer sheets where like all of the chemical stuff is basically kind of come out of it because you've used it and reused it, sawdust, and candle wax. Mike's going to bring that out to me in a minute because he's melting it down. Think of those candles that you have, like it gets to the very end and you can't burn them anymore. What do I do with this wax? I hate to just throw it away. I've got an idea that will help us put that together. Also, again, just as another additional one, we're wine lovers around here, so we always have plenty of wine corks. So I'll show you how to do some fire starters with these as well too. Okay, so sleeves up on this one. Okay, so toilet paper tube. Here goes the dryer lint. And again, just kind of compact it down.
Where did you learn to do this?
Scouts and
Girl Scouts?
Different things like that. That, again, when you had to think about, you know, recycling and so on like that. Okay, so I've kind of got it stuffed as full as I choose to have it. Pull one of the dryer sheets. Now again, the dryer sheets, it's really important. We don't want to add extra chemicals into the environment if we can help it. So really try and do those ones that have been like really well used.
Yeah, we use them 2, 3, 4 times.
So wrapping just one end. I choose just to do one end. You can do 2, whatever it is that you feel like. Usually when you have it compacted down. Now I've cut my handy dandy twine again. Okay. Michael brought me out the candle wax. So in a pot of water, we've got it kind of liquefied and so on like that.
Let me get a close-up.
Okay, dipping into the wax. Getting a good coating of the wax.
Yeah.
Okay, and then dipping into the sawdust. This is what's going to allow the fire to kind of catch on. Okay.
That's it?
And that's it. Basically,
cool.
Voila. Okay, and we'll be doing several more of those, and then we've got easy peasy fire starters, hopefully lessening the amount of like fire starter liquid or whatever.
Yeah, we don't want to try to use petroleum as much as possible.
Exactly. Okay, Mia's here. She's going to help do a few of the fire starters. I'm going to show you the fire starter that I do with the corks. Now, we have the champagne Prosecco corks that are a little bit wider. So again, basically same concept. Putting it in the wax, getting kind of a coating, dipping it in the sawdust. Because of the compactness of the cork burns really easily. And then of course just setting that aside. Now, I've also done another one that I've done with like 3 of the really thin corks, right? Because these aren't going to do much. So I've kind of used my twine and I've bundled all 3 of them together. Again, dipping them in the wax. And then putting the sawdust on, which is kind of the catcher. The wax and the sawdust. kind of together.
Yeah, the wax acts as an extender, helping it continue to burn, and those corks will light up on fire.
Okay,
Sure.
you want to keep going? Good job, kiddo.
Of course, Mr. Bones has to make his cameo. So what would you use these for when we start our little cowboy cooking over the grill?
Yeah, these are more fire pit. Michael and I have actually we've been enjoying sitting out by the fire with the temperate, the nice temperatures and so on like that. And so these will be helpful, and we don't have to use as much lighter fluid and stuff.
Yeah, especially if we're going to be doing our cooking over the grill.
Okay, you want to dip it in the wax? Over here. Yeah, there you go. All right, and then into the sawdust. All right, we've got our fire starters.
Good job.
Okay, so we were doing a little playing with fire today. We did our smoke bundles with our lemongrass, and then we have done the fire starters with recycled toilet paper tubes. We even did some with the corks. So we will hopefully utilize these later, maybe do kind of a short, let you know how they kind of work later. We're not going to start it during the day. It's a little breezy today anyway. But otherwise, hopefully again, these will serve as some good ideas for you guys to use in the future and give a try. And thank you, Mia, for joining me here at the end.
Yeah.
All right, everybody have a blessed day.